Hi. So when you're looking for that one book and you wanted other books related to it and you wanted to find other things related to the topics, this is something that I never get to show anybody, so I'm really excited. So we have the title of the book, and I'm going to answer your other questions as well. You put the title of the book in quotes, so those in this database, it looks for those words stuck together in that particular order. And then we add and Zuboff. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. And then you'll see there's like a whole bunch of stuff. Digital library you can ignore. That shows up for every single search. If you search for anything, it's like, here's a yearbook from 1973. So here we have the author, shows up at the beginning. But also we have somebody else who has a similar title. So, and here we have another one that's maybe in another language. So you can find these things. Oh, that's just a book review. So there's like all this cool stuff that you can find, and it's kind of interconnected by the title. But wait, there's more. If you click on, the red title, it'll give you two different versions. And it says access is limited to students and faculty, i.e. us. And when we click on that, below the yellow bar, unless you're logged in, then it'll be clear, you can find the ebook access for it. So not only will you have it in time for your speech, you can read it online. There's a picture of the author. That doesn't always happen. So what you can do is cruise through your favorite parts and see what you're interested in. Typically a chapter will have like subsections in the chapter. Tragically, these look terrible on a phone because it's formatted in the same format as a book sometimes. Can you download them? Sometimes, but often not, because they're trying to capitalize on these. So I would cruise through and read it on the biggest monitor that you can. But how do we find other stuff like this? Well, first of all, we can go in and we can see, I'm going to right click on this. And so you can see everything that this author has written, just that one thing that we have. You can go to Amazon and see what other ones. But you can also see Smart Machine, all of the aspects of the surveillance capitalism, so politics, business, personal, technological. I'll show you the political in a minute. But you can also see, these are Librarian of Congress subject headings. And so you can see information, technology, social aspects, consumer profiling. Ooh, that looks good. My mouse is going crazy. And then all of a sudden, there's other things connected to it. And there's even, of course, there's a For Dummies book. But you can get like data mining, social media data mining, and you can go into, maybe somebody's presenting this as just like a computer science thing, and they're not looking at the social. So your data, their billions, 2022. So this might be another one. If you find another book, you can do the same thing. Looks like consumer profiling data processing is a big one. Okay, so that's how you can find some within here, but how do we find some other things related to what you're looking at? Let's open up a new window. And so, say for example, you wanted to do the politics one. You can go to the databases, and you can go to a database like political science, and like whoever the librarian is, you can find them here, will have this as their favorite database. And so you can just type in, what did they use in this one? Consumer profiling. So we would just use those keywords. Consumer profiling. And then maybe in the next line we would do social media. And maybe in the next line we would do data. This is where you'd throw your keywords in there. But this is political science here, so they're not going to, there might be some technical things, but there might be people that are talking about like giving it clever titles, Rage Against the Machine. And you can see it only goes back to 2019, so there's probably not that many to look through. Beware though, there's some things that are dissertations and theses. Those are painful to go through, so I would recommend looking for scholarly journals only. But wait, there's even more. We could take this keyword and we could go to another database. Let's go to sociological abstracts, so looking at society as a whole from the sociology perspective. And we'll just take those keywords and already put them into a nice keyword phrase. And there's even more to look here. Here's what you do next is you would go through and see how are other people describing it in this one. And it might be like regulation. Looks like just politics and race. But you could also do surveillance and social media. You could mix it up and just throw whatever keywords. And if you wanted to, you could do and consumer if you needed to narrow it down. You get the idea. So I think that book is going to give you a lot of the keywords that you can narrow it down to different areas in here. Overcoming public health surveillance. Consumer was a good word, but you could keep on adding words after an and. That's the same thing as in the advanced search, is adding a new column. Oh, let's do data mining. I mean, try any of these out. I'm just making this up as I go, but you can use these keyword strings. Ooh, policing Black Lives Matter activists and suppressing dissent from 2022. So there's all these different events that are going on. Maybe it was like the 2016 election. Maybe it's this 2025 election. There's all sorts of different points that you can go in and add different keywords to. 2025 election might not have all that much in it. Let me go back to the library catalog and let's just throw this whole hot mess in here. And let me show you another thing. If you go into the catalog with these keywords, you can narrow down to peer-reviewed journals or you can narrow down to books. And let's see if Zuboff's book shows up in there. Ooh, Desire and Disobedience. Child data citizen, ethics and data. Yeah, so we went in a totally different direction. So as you discover things, save those keywords and look for other things as well. Because right now, with all of this happening, people are describing it in different ways. Does that help? Or does that confuse you more? Let me know, and I'm happy to help further. Just write to me, and I can help you narrow this out, or string this out and figure out what's going on.